it seems like some guys get a pass. Tom Brady can yell at his offensive line and receivers on the sideline, and people won't really criticize him. Go, look at him. He's a gamer. Look at what a leader he is. And then Cam Newton does the same thing, and he gets crushed. Crushed.
Well, Cam should get crushed for the way he acts in press conferences.
Yeah,
I don't care about how they act on the field. I care about how they treat the media after games. That's where you really show your true colors. Drabby, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, I think Brady shook hands after he changed. There's a photo of him and Barnett when he's in his clothes he wore to the game, and then Fletcher Cox said that well after the game they shook hands in the tunnel. But I haven't seen any photos of him shaking any players' hands on the field.
Oh, so he got off the field real quick and then shook hands afterward.
He sprinted off the field. Yeah.
Well, it was. I saw the coaches trying to find each other. Belichick trying to find Peterson. And whatever. It was chaos, and I think if I just lost the Super Bowl and it was chaos like that, and I saw some of the other Patriots, they were trying to get all the streamers or whatever it was off their body.
Confetti, yeah.
You just lose the Super Bowl, last play. I could see myself walking off in a huff. If you want to call me bad sport, you can. Does Cam Newton get a bad rap? Maybe sometimes he does. I know where people are going with that, but I think Cam Newton sometimes. I mean, so is Tom. Tom's a douche sometimes too, though. He's a douche on the field. I don't know. So I know where you're going with the Cam stuff. That's like a black thing.
I think there's
unfair.
I'll say that. I think there is an element of that.
Yeah.
That sometimes
there might be an element of it.
I think there's an element of just, look, the press, and everybody has favorites. And Tom Brady's one of the favorites, so they're going to give him a pass for almost anything.
But isn't Tom kind of known for being a douche? I mean, I kind of know Tom as being a douche, too.
Yeah, but the way that the press portrays what he does, what you say is douchey, they portray it as leadership. Whereas other guys can do the exact same thing, and it's not portrayed as leadership. Well, that's what I find to be the double standard.
Here's a picture of him hugging one of the Eagles players. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, reports say that he did take photos with Fletcher Cox on the field following the game. Yeah. It's just he didn't shake hands with. I guess that's become a tradition. Backs shake hands after the game. At the last 4 games, you look at the photos. And, I mean,
are people really upset by it?
Are heartbroken. I mean, Russell Wilson, I'll say that is super class. Russell Wilson lost the game in the final seconds.
Right.
And he went out and found Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Manning has his helmet on when he sees Russell Wilson, which looks odd. Because that game was what? I mean, it was a blowout.
The other thing about that is, you're going to get bombarded with media, too. Right? Especially if you're Tom Brady.
If you're on the winning side, you're definitely going to get.
Right, but if
going to crush you.
But they're going to come after Tom Brady, too,
right.
And get in his face with it. He doesn't like cameras in his face, so he probably just wanted to get out of there. He probably intended on meeting Foles after the game, but just didn't.
If you want to give us your thoughts, 800-636-1067. You can call us on the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Lister line. I'll tell you, I've always rooted against Tom Brady, and I've told you this before. I don't think any of you guys are watching it. Tom versus Time is really well done. It's good. They have different chapters, so you can watch one which is called the emotional game. There's one which is the physical game, one called...
Right. Bro, from what you see from Tom Brady, does he come across as someone who's a sore loser?
He loses so infrequently, it's tough to tell. But I would say no.
I mean,
I watched the press conference afterwards, and he went through his 15 minutes. Everybody's got to go through those 15 minutes, and people complain about it.
Yeah.
I didn't find him to be effusive.
Yeah, I mean, this is social media monsters coming after him. It's stupid.
I just don't know. I mean, if you think that Tom Brady is some sort of darling of the media, I don't think of him that way.
Are you kidding me?
He is.
He is a darling of the media.
Hey, I think he's darling of the fans. I know everyone thinks he's so handsome, and everyone talks about him as being made the greatest quarterback of all time. But I think isn't he almost universally known as a douche? I think of him that way.
Not when you watch announcers.
Yeah.
You watch
guys
games.
that cover him. Well,
I think they're fawning over his talent. They're not fawning over his personality.
I think people generally
they don't take shots at his personality. They don't take shots at him.
Here's a picture of him shaking hands with Derek Barnett. Now, he's already dressed, so obviously it's not on the field.
Well, that's what everyone's referring to, the stuff afterwards.
Well, he doesn't have to do that.
Of course not.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he avoided the Eagles players.
No, and the guy said how great he was.
I like what they do at the Stanley Cup. I will say that. That's got to be brutal. If you lose the Stanley Cup and you still got to get in line and shake hands.
Yeah, I think they do that after every NHL postseason series.
Yeah. In baseball,
that's brutal. It's rough.
Pretty much final out. We've seen it with the Nationals. A couple guys might stay in there and watch the celebration.
Yep.
Everybody else goes back into their locker room.
I heard Giselle was actually congratulating Eagles players, too. She stopped and talked to every player she saw in the tunnel.
That's nice of her to do that.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to do that.
I mean, they weren't happy they lost the game. There's no chance Brady was happy.
Right.
So he's not going to go up and dap up every Eagles player.
I find it the NBA, college basketball, they the old lineup,
right?
Like we do as kids. But the NBA, they just leave.
Well, those guys, they'll hug each other. Like last night at the end of the Wiz Pacers game, the game was over. Bradley Beal came across the line, set the ball down with like 6 seconds left, and then everybody on the court. And his hands, and then they go the separate way.
I'm a guy who watches NBA Finals, watches all that stuff. I'll stay up late. A lot of times they just bolt. Except for like the top players, like when LeBron is lost, he'll seek guys, or the guys on the other team will seek LeBron. But a lot of times they just bolt.